We have victims and suspects identified, and we have charged 5 people in this offense.
And the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their ass in prison.
It's racial. This is black people feeling offended by white people, and they're taking their anger and frustration out on them because they're white.
What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? That's right. Imagine putting those 2 payments in your pocket and finally getting a little breathing room. It's possible when you call American Financing today. If you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, groceries, gas, bills piling up on you, you're not alone. Most Americans are putting these expenses on a credit card, and there doesn't seem to be a way out. American Financing can show you how to use your home equity to pay off that debt. You need to call American Financing today before you get to a point where you can't make those payments. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you reconstruct their loans and consolidate debt, all without upfront fees. And their customers are saving an average of $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 raise. It's fast, it's simple, and it could save your budget this summer. Call now before it's too late. Call American Financing today, 866-889-8010. That's 866-889-8010 or americanfinancing.net/Tatum.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this Cincinnati Brawl is out of control. I saw it going around the internet over the weekend, and obviously I'm still on vacation, trying to be. And so I didn't want to comment on it till today, which is Monday, a working day for me. And so I just had to throw it out there, man. Can I say the quiet thing out loud? Can I say the quiet thing out loud? Why do we not see the reverse of these incidents? Somebody may argue, well, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, maybe there was a reverse. But in my entire lifetime, I have not seen the reverse of this type of behavior. It's not one time have I seen white people beat up black people like this. I mean, I get it, bro. I haven't seen the full video, and I'm not going to say who started it. But what I can see is who was way more aggressive and who will probably go to jail for the way they acted.
At this time, we have victims and suspects identified, and we have charged 5 people in this offense. I'm not going to release that information to you. I will say, if individuals were down there and participated in this event, it would be in their best interest to come turn themselves in at one of our police districts. We have 5 we have charged and anticipate more. Let me be clear. Anyone who put their hands on another individual during this incident in an attempt to cause harm will face consequences. I don't care which side of the incident or the fight they were on. If they place their hands on somebody in an attempt to cause harm, that is unacceptable. This is still an open investigation, and all potential charges are being investigated for everyone involved. All investigative tools and techniques are on the table, including, were some of these individuals overserved at some local establishments? It is clear to us that alcohol played a part, a significant part, in this incident. I want to thank every citizen who has come forward and provided us with information. Some of those tips have led to the charges being signed. However, for us to have 100 or so people down there involved in and or watching this event, recording with their cell phones, and for us to get only 1 phone call of this incident is unacceptable in this city. 1 person did the right thing and called 911.
If a person instigates an argument or a fight, once the person is down on the ground and they're no longer a threat, you have to stop kicking and stomping and beating them, or now you are putting yourself in a position to be the aggressor and now getting charged. Now you go and sucker punch a woman who apparently looked like she was just trying to break up a fight. She didn't, it was no indication, and I watched the whole video, no indication that she punched anybody, no indication that she hit anybody. And even if she said something, that don't necessitate a guy from the left corner coming up and just sucker punching her. And this is how people lose their whole life to the prison system, is that sucker punching people and they fall and bang their head on concrete and die when it was clearly not a provocation of a person standing to the left that's not engaged in the conflict. You will be charged with murder. So let's look at some video footage, because obviously if you don't know about the situation that happened in Cincinnati, Ohio, after a particular event, I think it was the Cincinnati Music Fest. Watch the video and you tell me if you see the same thing I see. Roll the film.
Damn! 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 Wake her up! Help her up! Whoa!
So you can see, like I said, there doesn't seem to be a provocation. There doesn't seem to be the guy that punched her was involved in this situation. And I want y'all to riddle me this. Are you telling me that the two white people are together, which it doesn't necessarily look like they are, maybe they are, and you telling me every single black person that's out there that's engaging in this conflict are all together in one group? Or do we see a mob rule of black versus white? They knocked the white guy out and all the black people jumping in. I'm just telling you guys, and I'm gonna play the clip of the guy getting beat up next. But if we saw this happen to black people, I think the world would catch on fire. If two black dudes were at a country music concert, which you would never see happen because it's a cultural thing, let's keep it real. Two black dudes, or a black dude and a black woman is at a country music concert, and a white dude just sucker punches a black woman and knock her on the ground and she's out cold, and they kicking and stomping and beating on a black man, we would not hear the end of it. The question you need to ask yourself is why? Now let's watch the video of them beating up the man. Roll the clip. You can't tell me that's not excessive. There's rumors that there could have been racial terms thrown around or whatever the case may be. But listen, let me just put some perspective on this for you young black people. It is not a justification to beat a person unconscious and even kill them because they uttered a word that offended you by your own decision making. I mean, your choice to be defended or offended. If a person says the N-word to me, it is up to me whether or not I want to feel offended by a ignorant person that I don't know saying something ignorant to me. Now, if I choose to be offended, that doesn't give you the right to beat a guy and beat him till he dies. Any one of those kids could have killed that guy. I don't know if people think that they're exempt because a white person say the N-word, they're just exempt of all laws and they can just beat a man to death and everybody can start kicking and jumping on him and no consequences whatsoever. What are we even thinking? And I just want to encourage black folks and people of color, do not let a word cause you to lose your freedom. It's just a word. And to be honest, why do you give power to an idiot who says the word? That's like a 3-year-old telling me that I'm stupid. It's like, well, he's a 3-year-old. Why do I get offended by a little child saying a term that they don't fully comprehend? Let alone an adult who's saying something to trigger you and that don't fully have the maturity to not say something stupid like that to a person, or they want to trigger you and you falling for the bait. Wouldn't you? And I don't mean to make the comparison because the 3-year-old ain't stupid. I'm just saying a 3-year-old's, the magnitude of what a 3-year-old says to you shouldn't offend you because it's a 3-year-old. Same thing with somebody that's willing to call me the N-word. It's like, yeah, you're not even in the realm of like reasonable people. Like, why would I even listen to you? That's like me trying to listen to you for financial advice and you're poor with no credit. And you've never owned anything and you're eating out of a trash can and you're going to tell me financial advice. And if you told me I was dumb because I don't know what I'm doing with my money, I wouldn't even give you any credence because you clearly aren't worth the words that come out your mouth. Let's play the clip of them knocking out a woman, random. Roll the clip.
Sleeping again. Boom. Ooh. 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 I got that too. Ooh. He shouldn't be outside. That was.
Nobody can say that this stuff is justified and nobody can say that this stuff is warranted. I mean, it wasn't a woman. I'm sorry. It wasn't a woman. It was a man that they hit and knocked out. But nobody can tell me that this is warranted. If you squaring up on somebody and y'all going blow to blow, that's different. You catching a person over here and you run up and sucker punch them like this. You can't tell me that you are in any danger and that you are actually trying to save the life of somebody else or preventing violence against somebody else when the guy's looking this way, walking and talking, and you come up and sucker punch him in the head. And I'm going to tell you this, and this is what I should have said from the very beginning, but it's racial. It's racial. This is white. This is black people feeling offended by white people, and they're taking their anger and frustration out on them because they're white. That's just my personal opinion. And the sad part is I've seen them do this to black people as well. But in this unique situation, I think the reason they jumped on them is because they were white. But if you move past that point, you say you would never see a video in modern American society in the last 50 years where you see black people getting jumped on and beat up at an event like this. Mass amounts of black people white people just stomping and beating up black people. I have never seen a video. I have never in my life, and I've been doing YouTube for probably about 6 years now, 5 years now. I have never in my life seen a video where white people are beating up black people like that. Kicking, stomping, sucker punching. I've never seen it. Can you explain? And the reason I say 6 years, because I've done thousands I think I've probably done 3,000 videos. I'm on the internet almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every single day for 6 years. And I have never come across a video where white people are doing this. I just got to say this, man. Black people, y'all need to do better, man. This ain't no flex. This ain't cool. It's only cool in the hood. It's only cool amongst your homeboys. But in the criminal justice system, this ain't cool. You go to prison for life doing stuff like this. And in the real world, where there's other people who live peacefully and want to abide by the law, and you guys look completely animalistic in your behavior. And it needs to stop. Comment in the comment section if you agree with me. You don't have to, but if you agree with me, comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about it. And I'll say this last part about JD Vance.
There was a group of people who attacked a couple folks on the street in Cincinnati. Senator Bernie Moreno, some others have spoken out about it, have been critical of it.
Okay, yes. So what I saw, and I haven't seen the full context, but what I saw is a mob of lawless thugs beating up on an innocent person, and it's disgusting. And I hope every single one of those people who engage in violence is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And they will be. They will be so long as law enforcement in the state of Ohio takes their job seriously. I know Dave Yost cares a lot about these things. But yeah, I actually, you're right. Bernie did send me a clip of this, and we talked a little bit about it. I don't know the full context. I don't know how the fight started. But the one part that I saw that was really gruesome is you had a grown man who sucker punched a middle-aged woman. And where I come from, at least, when you have a grown man who sucker punches a middle-aged woman, that person ought to go to jail for a very long time. And frankly, he's lucky there weren't some better people around, because they would have handled it themselves. But if they're not going to handle it, the cops in Cincinnati, the law enforcement, you've got to prosecute people. We've had way too much lawlessness on the streets of great American cities. How many of you all have wanted to go to downtown Akron or downtown Canton or downtown Columbus for a meal, but you're worried because the local authorities in these big cities have allowed lawlessness to run wild? We have got to make great American cities safe again for families and children. If you want to take your wife or your children out for a meal, you shouldn't be worried about street violence. And the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their ass in prison.
And, you know, I like what he said in part, but again, JD Vance don't know what happened, how it started, but I would agree with him that it's atrocious, and it's something that's terrible to watch. It's uncalled for. Violence of this nature is completely uncalled for.